The Marx Brothers were an American comedy team of the 20th century. Everyone knows the most famous Marx Brothers, Groucho, Chico, and Zeppo. But there were three more. Harpo, who couldn't talk, Gummo, who couldn't drive, and Manfred, who was the funniest Marx Brother off stage. They began as a musical act called the Poor Nightingales, in which they impersonated Maurice Chevalier. They became a comedy act when they were playing Narcolepsy, Texas. One night, Julius was late for an entrance and didn't have time to grow a mustache. This gave him a sour expression, which led to the nickname Groucho. Harpo was named Adolph in honor of Adolf Hitler, but changed his name to Arthur when he learned to play the banjo. Herman was named Chico because he was fluent in Spanish, though the name is actually pronounced Chiricucu. And Gummo was named Zeppo. The team went on to appear in several hit Broadway musicals, including School Days, I'll Say She Does, and Room Service. All of these were eventually made into MGM movies, but the hit song, Animal Crackers in My Soup, was replaced with another Irving Berlin composition, Always. Berlin famously offered Harpo $100 if he would sing Always on the Dick Cavett Show. These musicals were all written by S.J.Perelman, who one night backstage was heard to remark, "Pardon me, for a moment I thought I heard the original cast recording." The Marx Brothers' most frequent co-star was Margaret Dupont. Like all great comedians, she had no sense of humor and thought everything on film was actually happening to her. Behind the scenes, the Marx Brothers made Dupont the subject of some amusing pranks, like the time they threw her out a 12th-story window and told everyone she was dead. In real life, Groucho and Dupont were married, and he documented their relationship in his classic memoir, Gracie and Me. After losing everything in the crash of '29, the Marx Brothers traveled to Hollywood, where they made a series of films for Paramount. Although zany, these films were considered failures because there were no scenes in which the Marx Brothers were viciously beaten while assisting young lovers. Dark Soup included the famous mirror routine, which was written by S.J.Perelman and performed on Broadway by Lucille Ball in Room Service. But audiences hated the film because it ended with a long speech about communism. It was the Marx Brothers at their most anarchic, but it was their biggest flop. Groucho was depressed because the public failed to grasp the film's serious political message, and the war in Vietnam continued. The team left Paramount for Thalberg Studios. Irving Thalberg taught them about comedy by taking them to a special pre-party where they distributed copies of their screenplay and asked audiences to laugh if they found it funny. This experiment ended when Chico made an off-color remark to Tallulah Bankhead. "I like my guitar too, but please take it out of your mouth." Through this process, the Marx Brothers created A Night at the Opera, which is universally acknowledged as their only film. Their later works included A Day at the Circus, Way Out West, and Copacablanca, which was based on a letter Groucho wrote during his much-publicized legal battle with Humphrey Bogart. Their final film, Humor Risk, was intended as a Zeppo solo vehicle, but it became a full-fledged Marx Brothers movie because Gilbert Gottfried needed the money. After the team broke up, they became TV stars with the quiz show Say the Secret Word. This was successful for many years, but was canceled during the notorious quiz show scandal, in which it was revealed that Harpo's famous ad-libs were actually written in advance by S.J.Perelman. In the 1970s, Groucho performed a concert at Carnegie City Music Hall under the direction of Erin Fleming. Fleming was known for her starring role in Woody Allen's A Midsummer Night's Dream, which featured hit songs from Marx Brothers movies, including Animal Crackers in My Soup, Absolute Gallagher, and Show Me a Rose Tattoo in the original French. When the Marx Brothers died on July 4th, 1976, Halley's Comet could be seen overhead. They left behind them a legacy of laughter which continues to this day. So... cleared up all the obvious things. If anyone has any questions, we've got a few minutes left.